What is up, chat room? Welcome. What's up, guys? Can you hear me? All right. We got King Shadow, Zach Taff, Lucius, Matt Cave, Word, fellow YouTube member, and Scott Belcher. Thank you for being YouTube members. Good to see you guys. Resident Dr. Evil, Logan, Alex vs. Evil, Danger Dylan, what's up? Hawkeye, what's up, man? It's been a while. Yeah, I'm just here to answer some Ari questions, to talk some Ari stuff, to hang out for a little bit. Yeah, just that you guys seem to like these Hangout streams where I kind of get you guys involved and answer all your questions and stuff like that. So I like to do this every couple of weeks or so, and it's back due to popular demand. But no, I didn't get a chance to watch those movies yet. I might get a chance to when I'm on vacation, though, so I might be able to watch a couple of them. I usually try to bring my Blu-ray player, but we'll see what happens. What's up, Boy Wonder? Appreciate that, man. Thank you for the support on this channel. Ty, what's up? Do you want Krauser in the remakes? This is the first Ari question. I would say, yeah, I would want him in the remake. I would really like to see them just obviously fix what a lot of people had with Krauser in the original, which was just he kind of shows up, and we do get this backstory later in a different spin-off game. But how can you really introduce him nowadays to like a newer audience? So I personally would like to see him. Even if they kind of redesigned his final form a little bit, I wouldn't mind, as long as it looks, pretty dope. They can make him look even more badass, I think. So, one-on-one, what's up, man? Long time no see for you. Hope you're doing well. It's 2022, and I still can't play OG RE2 and 3 on my PS5. I know, right? Well, Sony's got you coming and going with that service, where a lot of stuff seems to be, you can just they acknowledge your past purchase stuff, and you can download it. But with Director's Cut, they made it to where you're locked into signing up for this service, and I think that is so dumb. But I know that it just depends on whatever they want to do when they put it up there. But I just want to buy it and not be on their service. So with Resident Evil 2 and 3, I'm sure this will be the same deal. But you didn't even add trophy support for it. And you're going to ask people to sign up specifically for this subscription just to play that? No, I'm good. I'm not going to sign up for a PlayStation service just to play PlayStation games. And I just don't like paying for a service that, like, I'm not using over and over again. Because even if I use the service, I don't really play PSN online. But I don't know. I just wish that there was a different way to just outright buy them. And I know you can buy this stuff individually. I'm mostly talking about the stuff that they lock behind the subscription wall, which they're going to do for 2 and 3. I imagine. But we shall see what happens. What's my biggest fear about 9 and 4 remake? This is from Danger Dylan. I guess my biggest fear for 4, starting with 4, I would say, if anything, I just don't want it to be too short. I want it to be, lengthy, but I also don't want them to cut corners on the story. So I think maybe the fear for that would just be, lack of more content or expanding on. For 9, it's just don't continue, a story that is kind of following, something kind of similar to 7 and 8. Try to make it a little bit different. And if they do something similar to 7 and 8 with 9, which is what's, out on the interwebs, then hopefully we can at least see some characters return. Zach Taft says Jill has to have some big PTSD after working for Wesker. Yeah, I think that's why she's been down and out for a while. Resident Dr. Evil will sign up for the service. That's not bad. Yeah, I mean, to each their own. 111 says, addressing what you said, absolutely. And since they're already competing with the emulators running OG 2 and 3, why bother putting a hurdle in front of RDC? Yeah, I mean, it's really just Duck Station. You can tell they really looked at Duck Station, and they were just like, we're going to just take that and use it and make money off of it, which is fine, in terms of like, I played Siphon Filter, right? So that had trophies, and I played through that and got all the trophies, and it was just fun to play through that legit. It's been some years, and didn't have to pay for the service to get it. I actually just downloaded it because I owned it. So I just, I had it on the PS3 days, back in the PS3 days. Man, I want OG RE2 in HD. I've thought about getting a PC for it. Yeah, some of the PC stuff that you can get running is incredible. What do we got here? Matt Case says, I'm looking forward to Ethan's face reveal in the upcoming RE8 DLC. Yeah, I mean, it's basically like, we already kind of know what his face looks like because we even can, see it in what's been kind of exposed in mods and everything like that. But yes, now we get a legit rendition. Who's your favorite Stalker in the series? Definitely Nemesis. It's probably my favorite BOW tyrant, Brian Phillips says, how do you feel about the rewind system on RE1 on PS5? I personally hate it. I never used it. Like I just mentioned, I haven't used the PlayStation Network DC, REDC yet. I haven't played it, haven't signed up for it. There was a part of me that was going to sign up and just try it for you guys and stream it. But even then, I was like, I could just play normal Director's Cut on it, emulator, and it looks good. I didn't mind it in Siphon Filter. Because I didn't have to just, if I kept failing missions, which happens a lot in Siphon Filter, I can just rewind it. But I'm curious to hear why you're not a fan of it in that game. I haven't used it in that, so. Do you think Village was originally intended as a Resi game? This is from Richard Forrester. He thinks it was a Gothic horror game that had a Resi name that was slapped on it. I think that with a lot of the differences in what they ended up doing with the different types of horror, I think that's why, they definitely had the ingredients of whether or not, they were going to make this more like a Resident Evil game, where 7 was definitely more in that vein. And then I think 8 took it further away from, the vibe. And that's kind of why what I said in my RE9 video of just like, I wish, to see the zombies again. And some people didn't really agree with that. Some people did. To each their own, you know what I mean? I know people prefer to fight different types of enemies in, different rotations depending on the characters and the setting and whatever. But yeah, there's got to be something here. Let's see here. Put that on. Let's see. I mean, Joe and Claire have been silenced. Or sidelined. Not silenced. Sidelined. Well, they've almost been silenced. Jill's been almost silenced until the remake. Holy shit, And I don't even count the remake. Claire's gotten some more love than Jill, to be fair. I think we'll get another Revelations game. MKL, I think so. Maybe. Or just another spin-off. Scott Belcher says, anyone here think that they should make a standalone game for Carlos and maybe explain what happened to him after Raccoon City? I've thought about this, and Carlos and like the future of what they could do with him, and I just feel like they'll never continue him, unfortunately. I wouldn't mind seeing him in, another game that's like a spin-off, you know what I mean, or something that kind of gets like I don't know, it gets more of a I don't know, because I always think about like the spin-off games and like, what if you had Carlos in one of those as well, like Raccoon City Survivor, kind of like an Outbreak stuff, you know what I mean? What's up, Diamond Rattler? Enjoy the breadsticks, man. Thanks for coming in. That's where I think Carlos would be appropriate to kind of bring back, or if it's like another Raccoon City type game, and you have those Umbrella mercenaries among the other survivors, whatever it may be. Yeah, between him and Billy, like certain characters that were just never used again, but we just know that they just went off and did that stuff. Let's see. Thomas says, not an RE question, but have you seen the new Predator film, Prey? It's badass. Badass kills in it, he says. No, I haven't seen it yet. I've heard mixed things. I've heard good things. John said it was okay, but he doesn't really find himself going back to watch it right away. So I'm gonna check it out once me and Callie are back and we can watch the film. So we'll check it out together. And I've seen all the other Predators, so I have to see this one. Excuse it. Where are we here? Yeah, I hope so too, Funky Monk. I really hope the third person does fix that. Because I was dealing with some glitches in Mercenaries that were really annoying in first person. Bring 7 to third person. Yeah, I know, right? It's kind of weird that I didn't go back and do that either, but, Gonna make an Ari short film, but don't know what you can base it off of. Well, base it off of something that's in your budget and something you can do and a location that you have, right? Because that's like the biggest thing. One of my biggest regrets ever is not being able to film on my old house location, because it would have been great for like the opening of RE1. Like we could have reenacted some crazy shit. I had a field. It was fucking killer. But woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? And I was younger anyway. I didn't have the budget to do that stuff back then. But I shot stuff back there. But I always shot stuff when it comes to filming, just what I could actually do. So when I'm writing the script, I'm like, okay, can I do this? Do we have this location? I'm not trying to write myself into a spot where I can not only use none of the locations, but everything I envision is not what I wanted it to be. So base it off of what you can do. RWK, what's up, man? Thanks for coming in here. This is right, just more on Carlos because he was a good character and deserves more. I agree, and I really liked him in the remake. What's the craziest rumor I've heard about the RE4 remake? I guess I don't even know the craziest rumor, because I hear different things all the time, and I try to avoid talking about that and stirring the pot, of like false information or just like speculation all over and over again, because I don't want people to think it's real. It's fun to talk about like how we are now, like, oh, what do you think of this rumor or that rumor? And I'll talk about it. But I know, like I said, I always talk about this. It's just like, I just at least want to bring people, some of the news that's legit, and not, just like, oh, what if it's this or what if it's that? Unless it's something I completely, think it's going to happen, or you get a scoop, right? But I think I don't know, maybe the whole like Ada getting cut from the game, like as far as like none of her sections being there, like she's in the game, but like, not being able to play as her. The Hookman being in the game is very interesting. I don't know if that's just because of the fact that I'm thinking like, okay, I'm thinking back to 3.5, and like the Hookman was paranormal. So if they had somewhat of a Hookman, could they make him not paranormal, and could they make that work? A game for Hunk would be awesome. I think Scott. I think a lot of us fans have been wanting that for a while. Really looking forward to seeing him back in RE4 Mercs. Dylan says Pro is pretty good. I recommend at least one watch. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch it because I'm a fan, because I'm a horror fan, and you've seen all the movies, so yeah, it's almost like I have to watch it by default. I'm sure I'll like it more than the last two, but I'll let you guys know once I check it out. It's something you ever consider making a video on. Brian says, it looks like I've got pretty cool horror collection and collectibles. Will I do a video on it? Yes. In fact, Brian Phillips, I will be doing, a whole collection video for all this stuff back here. And that is for my film channel, which is Inocula Productions. So that's INOCULA Productions. It's on, if you click my channel, and it's on the channel tab, it's there. But you're going to be hearing me talk about that more because I've had the channel since 2007. I've been doing, short films and other collection stuff on there recently. But I am going through a whole, rebranding process right now in a new phase of the channel. And shout out to Quentin Bauer, if he's listening or watching in post, for helping me out with the artwork for that channel that is updated. And there's going to be a brand new short film dropping next month. So I'm going to promote that stuff here. I'm going to probably show the trailer here. And that channel will also be my, my home base for movie collection updates. And kind of like, obviously, very inspired by the Resident Evil collection updates that I've been doing for 12 years. I want to do, everyone does haul videos, movie collection. That's a popular thing. It's always been a popular thing amongst movie fans and collectors. So I'm going to join that saturated market of just like a million people buying a bunch of shit that, they may or may not watch. See, I try to watch my shit, and shout out to Uncle Bill at Dead Pit. He mentioned something on the stream the other night for people that were watching, and he was like, here's a challenge to some of those YouTubers that just buy shit every week. Don't buy another like Blu-ray until you watch everything that you don't have opened, like that you haven't popped the seal open. Now, I'm guilty of this a little bit, but my backlog isn't too bad compared to most people. But I try to, I want to review movies. I want to talk about movies too. There's just a lot of potential for that to grow. And obviously the past year has been me just trying to kind of figure out what I want to do on that channel and how I'm going to do it. So that is what I'm, working on. It's really just been, LTRE full time, obviously, since, December, or really August-ish, but just with me, December. And I'm obviously trying to grow the film channel in addition to this channel because it's important that I get that to monetization because that will help me and help me grow. And yeah, so I'm working on that. So that's kind of what I've been also working on within doing stuff for this channel. I've been editing away at the short film and stuff, but since I don't get, any financial stream from that, I obviously I've been putting a lot of the focus into this for the past year, and I put out a short film last year called Athismos, so I put that out last year, and then that was supposed to kind of be the kickoff of the new channel, but not the new channel, but the new phase, the next turn for my film stuff, my film career. And I just had to focus on this channel a lot more in that year's time. And here we are a year later, and another short film under my belt, and a new logo is done, and I've been getting a flow for the kind of videos I want to do over there. You'll see some of those videos that I mentioned over there on that channel already, but I'm going to pick up the pace once this short film drops in the fall. So yeah, that is my little thing there. But I also want you guys to, if I can actually go back and grab this here. So I do have a link here. And I want you guys to check it out. 1 second here. So this right here. Yeah, I'm going to post this here so you guys have a link. Check out the new artwork. It looks awesome. So there you go. That's my film channel right there, so you can check it out. OHB says, hey, YouTube are useless for having notifications on and didn't receive them. Yeah, that's a common thing, isn't it? Let's see. Metronic says, I'm also trying to make sort of a film, probably stop motion Lego. Haven't really liked what we got and would like to truly make something I would want to see, and hopefully others as well, RE1 based. Yeah, that's like, if I have like a dream project, it's me working on, some kind of Resident Evil live thing and making it like, like money behind it, you know what I mean? Maybe even doing some crowdfunding or something that can really give it, a kick in the ass, because I think I have the leverage of, to be like, all right, listen, let's actually do something good here. You know what I mean? I have some good film people that I know, amazing film people that I know, amazing equipment. You know what I mean? The only issue is always money, because you either want to pay people, or you have to make it look good. Can't be cheap, and that would just be years of work, just to work up towards. But it's not like all the film stuff that I've been doing isn't a portfolio or a breadcrumb trail of what I've done, and trying to, obviously over the years you invest in equipment, you get stuff, you get new cameras, you try new things. That's kind of what the short films have been for me. It's just been kind of experimenting and doing different things. I haven't done like a feature script in a while, or an independent feature, I should say, because none of these have been officially released as features. It's just all just whatever films that I end up coming up with. But Dr. Evil says, Anthony, would you like to see the series go back to zombies and a more traditional characters, or stay with random monsters, protagonists, villains? Definitely. Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys subscribing. Definitely the old school style, and I think that's why I really wanted to think and like sit down when I was writing some stuff about that RE9 video, just like, what do I really want? I had to kind of think about what makes me obviously think about Resident Evil when I get that enemy or that area or that familiar sense, and what do I really want as a fan that is just trying to, I guess just see another game that is, memorable, that stands out, that has characters we like, it's definitely tapping into that, because that's just what I remember and love. Christine, what's up? Appreciate the support, and hope you're well. Hope you've been well. Hope everyone's been well. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, guys. Appreciate that. I got 40 people in here, but only 30 likes. So we can get the thumbs up moving. That'll be awesome. Really appreciate that. Stan, what's up, man? Says, after playing Ari Village again, what are your final thoughts on the game? Of the game? Final thoughts, I would say, I mean, what I was getting into on my Village 1 year later show, which was I think in May when I released that, and I kind of, played through it again, talked about it again, and it was more just like, it's a, fun action game, but it doesn't really, feel like a Resident Evil game in the horror aspect or the horror sides. The action is very much like RE4. The inventory system is like RE4. The gameplay is smooth. The graphics are beautiful. The voice acting's pretty well done, and they really know how to, build a lot of these maps. But I think segments could have been longer, characters could have been more fleshed out. Chris Redfield could have been in there more. His writing of his character, the tie-in with Spencer should have been a lot better, in my opinion. Also, I think that, they should have made Chris just in it more, and also just a character that would have told Chris is a character that would have told Ethan the truth. I think so. I just didn't think they would have just made it to where he's just like, you should have told him, and he's just like, yeah, like just little things like that, I think just kind of always bothered me a little bit. But there is replay value. It's fun. It's not a boring game. There's always stuff going on. The gunplay is really good. The aiming is intense. The guard is mixed in, so you have to use your guard mixed in with the shooting. So I think a lot of my issues don't really lie with the gameplay. I think it's a fun, solid game overall, and it's fun to play. Casuals will love it. If you're a fan of 7, you'll love it. If you only played 7, you'll love it. Even if you play the other ones, you might love it, and that's fine. But yeah, going into the DLC, I am still excited though. Like with that being said, I'm still like, yeah, I still want to see what's going on with the third-person mode. That seems like fun. New mercenaries content's cool, and obviously with the new story stuff, hopefully it's solid. Speaking of stop motion, you should check out the movie Mad God if you haven't already. The movie has insane visuals and stop motion animation from Phil Tippett. I haven't watched it, Monk, but I will check it out though. That sounds really good. I'm always down for cool stop motion and effects. Carlos Cruz, fellow YouTube member and moderator, thank you, brother, for coming in. Appreciate that. Wish the enemies looked a little more wolf-like. Just being kind of beastly dudes is lame. The big wolf enemy was cool though. Danger Dylan says, yeah, same. I kind of wish the enemies had a little bit more variety. It's something I noticed in 7 and 8. Open World Raccoon City. I wouldn't mind that in any spinoff. Anything that's a remake. Matthew Webster says, need hunters and lickers back in the series. Think RE5 and Revelations were the last appearances. I mean, in like the main games, yeah, like that. Exactly. I think that's the whole thing. Like, I think, Capcom knows that, yeah, we're getting them in the remake, but like, what about in the main game? And that's how I also feel about Jill. I'm like, yeah, because people will be like, well, what do you mean? Jill was in RE3 remake. I'm like, yeah, but just like the Lickers, they were in 2 and 3 remake, right? But where are they in the present timeline? Not like past 5, we had them appear in 5 and we had Jill appear in 5, Jill and the Lickers went away at the same time. The Hunters went away after Revelations, like you said. So Tamaz says, how do you get actors for your short films? It's really just, I have a circle of people that I do work with, but as the years have gone on and it's harder to work with people, and it's harder to, because of life and because, a lot of times on the scale that we're working at, we're working for free. You know what I mean? At least all of my projects, where it's just been super low budget. People are helping out for, for lunch and dinner and just to help out. You know what I mean? I'll pay for all the stuff on the set. And, we just try to, find that stuff. Now, there's actors that, obviously you have to pay, and they have these things that, you're probably going to have to go through later. Well, I say you as in me, but you get what I'm saying. As a filmmaker, but what helps is knowing people and knowing people that are in plays and actors, and Callie was in plays, and her friend knows a bunch of actors, and, Dustin knows a bunch of actors, and like, we have a bunch of friends in our circle that just like have just been doing stuff for a little bit, and chances are there's always people around. So I've never done a full hunt for a full cast. I think that might be the next thing for, obviously like a feature script where there's multiple characters. A lot of my short films have been very low key, because I try to get what I can get and who I can get and who I'm able to get. My girlfriend, I like working with her, obviously, because she's a great actress, a great person to work with. And I think you should do stuff together like that if you want to make that stuff work out. So both do what you love together is a good thing. So, and she knows people too. So it's all it's all goes down to just like knowing people and trying to see who's right for it. Obviously, you want to cast the right person. You want to have an idea of how you can get some of these people. There's ads and stuff like that online. There's different ways I gotta kind of like explore different avenues. You know what I mean? But let's see. Dylan says the next game with new enemies should have been a large variation of reptilian and amphibian enemies, basically hunters, but they are all different. Well, I wonder, if they're gonna, if they're gonna go into the whole Wendigo thing or whatever we're getting, kind of talked about or whispered down the lane online. It would go further away from even that. But I would take even, the reptile BOW type stuff again, over kind of what we've been getting, as long as it just leads into, something that is similar to what we got before. Scott says, I'd really like to see an Ari RPG with an open Raccoon City concept where you can just go on single player or with maybe one or two friends and scavenge through the city and meet main characters. All through the eyes of different survivors, but still true to the canon of RE. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with a Raccoon City what if game. That they have all the assets, the RE engine's already there. It wouldn't be that that crazy of a project, but I would just think it's a really cool thing. But even Dr. Evil says, not a fan of online play, but can't believe they haven't gone all in on the remakes of Outbreaks. Most companies really want an online game. If they put time and money into it, it would be great. So, to that point, one second. Capcom is kind of focusing on online stuff, but like in different ways, like stuff like with Resistance and Reverse, so and Exoprimal, it's almost like they're putting a lot of the stuff into different Resident Evil multiplayer experiments. But I personally would love something out there, in the open world where you can do online, single player, mixture of both, Raccoon City survivors, real ones, new ones, whether it's like, exactly from Outbreak or whatever. It's me, MK. What's up? Stan wants RE9 to take someplace familiar, like the original 3 games, and the story to be about you playing as Jill or Claire trying to save Chris from the BSAA. Yeah, it almost seems like they're setting it up like that. You know what I mean? But again, who they're gonna actually do that with, as far as the main character, and write it with. Exotheater says, "What's up, party people? Here's a question, Ant. Coke or Pepsi?" Definitely Coke. Coca-Cola is it's a sickness. It's a sickness, but I like Pepsi. They're all shit. They're all shitty shit. But if I had to pick one, I would say I like Coca-Cola products. Like I like Dr. Pepper. But I've been staying away from soda. You just don't. I just try to not buy it, and it's just not around. And then it's easy to drink water or get one of these boys. These have sugar in it, but it's not like an acid bath like soda. Crystal Pepsi was good though too. If they would do something like that, the game should start before Outbreak begins, so you can see all the initial carnage of what we know Raccoon City to be. Yeah, I mean they could do. I think if they were to do it, I don't even think they would really remake it one for one, or maybe even have the same survivors. They might make it like Resistance, where it's like random survivors within Raccoon City. As much as I would like to see those characters come back, but again, yeah, it's like they can show stuff from before and during and after, and it's like you're seeing it all from perspectives and stuff like that. Yeah, they're mythical, so it's very weird. Thanks, Dylan, on the shirt compliment. Uh, yeah, I really just want Outbreak, Doctor Evil. I think we're gonna be getting something, you know, something different with each kind of like, I guess, generation. They always try these some of these companies try these multiplayer games. They don't always work out, and we'll see. Yeah, listen, I like soda though. Like, believe me, don't get it twisted. You've seen us down Mountain Dews and pints of Mountain Dews here on on the channel in the past. Um, I've had Red Bull on here in the past. Um, so yeah, there's times where I get a little nutty, and I just if I'm playing or I'm in the zone. But if I had to pick, to be honest with you, dude, to be honest with you, vanilla Coke all the way. Vanilla Coke is like that's where it's at, to be honest with you. But Outbreak 3 taking place in Tall Oaks during the C virus. Yeah, that's I think Outbreak File 3 would just end up being, whatever the remake would be of it, or a new online rendition of it. But yeah, they never really continued it. They could have continued it somewhere else, or maybe have it take place somewhere else, you know? Um, so yeah, cherry vanilla Coke, dude. Exactly. See, you're on the same page, That shit is like hella good. Real vanilla Coke is the best. In the UK, we only get a crappy version. Really? Yeah, UK, you guys in your soda, it's so much better over in the UK, in my opinion, because, well, for reasons like vanilla Coke, definitely not. But like your Fanta it literally tastes like there's no sugar in it whatsoever. And same thing with Coca-Cola over there. You go over there and it's like all the Coke is served with a lemon, all of it. Every time. Every time you go to a restaurant, immediate lemon. Over here, they ask you, like, they don't just put lemons in your soda, but it helps with the taste, because the Coca-Cola over there, when you're drinking it, it tastes like Coke Zero. It doesn't even, not, it tastes better than Coke Zero, because Coke Zero tastes like shit. The soda over there is actually pretty good, because it's not saturated with a bunch of sugar. They fuck us up over here in the States. They put so much shit in our stuff. And Nuji was like, you got to try the Fanta. It's actually really good. And I tried, I think, the orange one or the yellow one, and it was actually pretty good, because it just didn't taste like it didn't have the overabundance of sugar, So, Fanta lemon, yeah. I think I had the lemon one, but yeah. That was the funny thing about UK. I was like, damn, the soda actually tastes better. And then you come back here and you're like, holy shit, this shit's loaded with sugar. Solo Journeyman says they have the template for multiplayer RE games with the Outbreak series, but they would rather do Umbrella Corps and Reverse. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, for God's sake, not Umbrella Corps. You completely reminded me of how bad that game was, and just you spelling that out, Umbrella Corps. Oh my God. Well, Reverse, that comes out in October. I'm looking forward to playing that with my, YouTube members and Patreon supporters. I like to go a few rounds with you guys. That'd be really fun. Stuff like that I feel like is cool for the community. I'm not saying the game's going to be good. I'm not defending the game, but it does give us a reason to play it. And even if it's bad, I can laugh in our, Discord as we just play. So stuff like that would be, interesting. Ari Dr. Evil says Outbreak was ahead of its time. I think it'd be do better now with a proper effort. It definitely was ahead of its time. And now that they have the Ari engine and all the assets, like we said, what's up, Piers? It works out. Coolor says, do you know that Billy Cohen was going to be in Resident Evil Infinite Darkness but was cut? That's very interesting. I think that's a shame, because, what the hell? We even had Rebecca show up in Vendetta, and then it's like that would have been interesting to do that, you know. Um, Stan likes Fanta Lemon, Vanilla, Fanta Grape, Coca-Cola, and Sprite. Those are some good choices. I know Dino Crisis should be there, Topher. I don't know why it isn't. It was rumored to be there, but Matt Cave says I don't think Ariverse will be anything special, but an overall fun experience. Yeah, I mean, look, it's something we can play as a community, right? So like that's just the way I see it. I'm like, there's only so much I can really do to, I can't really anticipate the fucking, I don't even know, the glitches, oh man, I apologize for the yawning and the stretching. It's been a crazy couple days, and today has been nuts because I got to do a bunch of shit. I got a couple videos I have to edit before, because I got Monster Mania this weekend. So if you're in Monster Mania, if you're going to Monster Mania, say what's up if you see me. And then I'll be in California. So I literally do Monster Mania, leave for California, and then the week I come back, I'll be doing the live streams again. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of stuff happening towards the end of the summer. That's for sure. But Joshua lost hope in Reverse a long time ago. I really hope it is X. I really hope it's just a template for Dino Crisis and we just get that later. They didn't use the Jurassic World hype for Dino Crisis. I know. Well, I mean, they, once we saw the Exoprimal stuff, we were like, all right, that's what they're doing with this. The Wesker sunglasses. Yeah, I think it's time for Dino Crisis to come back. I think it really makes sense, for them to just bring that back. It's been long enough. You know what I mean? Bring it back now. Yeah, I got into Dino Crisis. I think it was kind of like right around. It was right when. It was probably 2000. Yeah, it was probably 2000. And I remember looking through the guide, and there would be like the dinosaur stickers and stuff like that you can pull off and everything. That was just crazy. And then Dino Crisis 2, I almost like better because it just took it up a notch, with the action. So let's see. Mazetronic says, I didn't know about Billy being cut, but I binged the animated movie show, not the 2022 show, and enjoy the Infinite Darkness and Degeneration. Yeah, they're fun watches, man. And they're canon, so it kind of gives you some kind of incentive to check them out if you're a fan. Wesker, don't you mean Blade? Yeah, I know, right? Favorite version of Leon, RE2 98, RE2 Remake, RE4, or RE6? Definitely RE2 98. That's just classic, man. It's classic. Can't beat that, I love the remake too. I love RE4. Even the RE6 one is cool. Like they all have really distinct and unique looks for the games. Christine says, "What's your favorite Ari villain from across all the games?" Oh, definitely Wesker, man. I think Wesker is just like the best. You just can't beat it. But I do like I like, I'm trying to think of who else I like. I did like Spencer, even though obviously, his actual appearance in the game is, by the time we actually see him, he's getting killed by Wesker. But yeah, Wesker just gets that for me. Still never played Dino Crisis game. I'd love to play them at some point. Yeah, that's why they need to be on the service. The sooner they put that on the service, that's more people can play it and check it out. Hopefully, they don't put it behind a fucking service wall. But who knows? RWK88 says, "Are you afraid RE4 will be too similar to Village?" It's a good question. I don't doubt that they will, use assets and, make things obviously look very similar. They do have a structured layout because they used the foundation that RE4 built for Village, and then Village brought that to, the modern stuff, and then now it's going to a different level now, because now you have, the merchant, and you have like all these things. Tell Jamie Kennedy to come on the street. yeah, right. Yeah, David Arquette's headlining. That's pretty cool. They just got him, because Nev Campbell canceled. Say that 3 times. For Twisted Metal filming, and yeah, so I'm happy they got another. It's Monster Mania 50. It's a big one, but I got a long 3 days ahead of me, that's for sure. And then I'm gonna be in the skies Monday morning, so it's gonna be a fucking. But it'll be good. It's all good. It'll work out, and it's it's fun. It's fun stuff to be working on and to be doing. All this excitement with Resident Evil, the film channel, the film getting done. Shit's going down. Don't mean to yawn, chat room. I'm sorry. I've been running all over the place. Let's see here. Christine says, definitely think they killed Wesker too soon. Yeah, I think they'll bring him back. I still think they will. You never know. X says, what was there a moment in Ari that generally scared you? I feel like there's a difference between anxiety and actual vibes feeling, holy crap, that was scary. I'm trying to think. I think generally scared me. I think what actually did was when I played Remake for the first time, and I remember playing that, and the graphics were so real, and it looked so dark, and it was intense, and oh my god, I remember going up to the Lisa Trevor door, and that scared the shit out of me. I mean, and just the way the zombies would come through the door. I think Remake really sticks in my head a lot, because like the PS1 games, like they obviously scared me when I was a little kid, a little bit. But then, you got used to it. You got used to Nemesis jumping through the window at the police station, and you got used to the dogs jumping through. Like, you've seen it a bunch of times. You're used to Mr. X coming through the wall. Like, there's certain things that you kind of get, like, jaded to. You know what I mean? Thank you, RWK, for the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate that. He says, keep it up. Or the super sticker. Keep it up. Thank you, brother. Appreciate all the support. Thank you for supporting this channel and Game Complainers. We really appreciate you, man. So thank you. Shy Boy's drinking pina coladas. He says Wesker's drinking pina coladas. He's drinking with Wesker pina coladas. Yeah, Remake really sticks out. X says he was young, but RE298 had the shed at the RPD that had zombies appear on the door loading screen. It scared the shit out of me. Yeah. I think one of the moments in the OGs that scared the fuck out of me was definitely Nemesis coming down and killing Brad. And I was like, I have to fight this thing. And then when he jumps through the window, you're like, what the fuck, man? So yeah, there's always great moments. For RE2, I think I remember like hearing the Birkin screams, and that was scary. There's just so many things that, like, it was obviously a simpler time with simpler graphics, but it was part of that experience, the charm. And then when you see that, and then you go to Remake, which it looks incredible on the GameCube still to this day, you're like, fuck, this is like next level shit right here. So yeah, that was the last time I think I was genuinely scared and anxiety ridden in Resident Evil. Not to mention the Crimson Heads, like Stevie Max had just said. This is the first Crimson Head scared the hell out of me because I had no clue they were a thing. Yes, because we weren't expecting that. When I was a kid, the first zombie encounter I saw when my older brother played, I do remember that. That was I don't think it was scary for me because my brother was, making a joke that the zombie had lipstick on or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know why my hair is all fucking fucked up today. Sorry. But, yeah, no, that's like, that's iconic. I think the dogs obviously got me.
Most of these medicines are from Umbrella.
Back when you first play. Thank you so much, Matthew Webster, for the $5 super chat. In Word, coming in, flexing the member emojis. Thank you, brother. They are exclusive to being a member here on YouTube, so. But Matthew Webster with the $5 says, would you want to see Albert Wesker and Leon meet in the remake? Maybe he appears at the end after Krauser is reported dead. Could be Ada's boss fight. I wouldn't mind if Wesker actually showed up in the remake. That's the only thing. Like, now him meeting Leon would be interesting because that hasn't happened, so I don't know how they would fit all that into that game. But even if he sees him or knows him from afar, and he's like, is that who I think it is? And it's Wesker. That'd be very interesting, Ada's boss fight, I feel like, could still be, Sadler before, he goes out to the final part, or it could be all inclusive, all included in one big stage, Yeah, it's very interesting though. I don't know what they're gonna do with that, but I think having him in the game would be really cool. Even if he's just in the background again, I'll take it. I'll take it. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Peter got just pre-ordered the collector's edition of Callisto Protocol. Stan says the last time he got scared was the village of the babies. Not gonna lie, I couldn't sleep the night that scene called me out by surprise. Yeah, I know that was a big one for a lot of people. For me, it didn't do that to me, but I know for a lot of people, and again, everyone has their moments that they remember, and I'm happy that there was at least something out of it for you guys that you could, kind of be like, that was fucking creepy, Didn't really do it to me, though, but it's all good. Danger Dylan says, yeah, I used to be numb to Dead Space after playing it so much, but now it scares me again because the numbness went away after not really playing horror games for a while. Yeah, especially playing that with headphones, man. That's like a whole experience in and of itself. Christine says, original RE2, when you switch the camera on in the factory and the tyrant is walking towards it, scary as fuck. Yes. Yep. Mr. X just hits the monitor and then he comes around the corner, so you have to brace for his attack. Yeah, that was a great moment. Word says playing RE1 as Chris right now. Oh, that's awesome, man. Happy you're playing that. Yeah, it's another hot day. Thankfully this weekend with the con it will be, finally, I think in the 80s, in the high 80s, but it's been like 99 here, 98 in South Jersey. It's been nuts. It's been nice to stream and stay inside, and obviously I work inside mostly, so I'm just like, okay, perfect, staying out of the sun. I've had plenty of beach days and, been outside this summer in terms of like, sitting in the sun, but I obviously like to break up the monotony and work out and do whatever, but yeah, it's definitely hot as fuck. Yeah, Tyrant on the camera in RE2 scared me back in the day. God, I love RE2, says X. Yeah, just a essential piece of history. One of the best sequels of all time. I still remember when I saw zombies for the first time in an RE game. I think it was the graveyard scene in Code Veronica on Dreamcast. Yeah, I remember getting that game, bringing it home, playing it, for the first time, seeing the cutscenes, seeing like how advanced it was, because it was the next generation of Resident Evil, and it definitely that was another game that definitely kind of was creepy. It had a creepier vibe, It definitely can get your heart racing for sure. Code Veronica is another one that, now that I think of it, definitely, it was hard. That didn't help, but it definitely made it difficult and scary in some ways. And then you hear the voice acting, and it's a different story. But Lord Heisenberg says, "God damn, House Beneviento destroyed my brain for days. I literally had nightmares where my brother and me got eaten by that baby." Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. You guys are all scarred by the baby. Kulor says, "I got a theory. Wesker that died in RE5 is a clone. Wesker is too smart for himself to die." That's what the theory is. That's what the word's been, like from fans. That's why it's so easy for them to just bring him back. They could be like, it was a clone all along, and he's back. I mean, I wouldn't complain. I would like to see Wesker again. Do the team that made original RE2 have anything to do with the series now? Not really. I mean, a lot of those people are, have gone off or gone to different projects. Some people are still hanging around, I think. But a lot of the team has been, all over the place, have been, moved around. Scariest game of all time. Knack. Hands down. I trophy hunt, and the game has collectible RNG that makes the platinum a nightmare. Damn. Well, then in that case, that is the scariest horror game. Scariest game of all time. That's like being a crazy question. I think Silent Hill 1 or 2 is definitely up there. I haven't played all the horror games, but there's a lot of crazy games. Dead Space would be up there too. Just very scary and in your face, loud, visually stuff's fucked up, I don't know. What do you think of the idea if they included an RE3 remake nemesis, busting the safe room door, also throwing you items and zombies to stun you? Well, a non-safe room, that would be very unfair and cheap. I think that would, considering that game has Inferno mode, I think that will be, I think that's enough. That's enough challenge. Let's see. Eric's Love says the game that actually scared me was Outbreak, the opening scene at the bar with the zombies breaking open the door. Yeah, I actually do remember that scene so clearly, renting that from the video store and seeing that opening scene, and I was like, holy shit, this is something like out of, Night of the Living Dead, like Ben talks about when he's, I think he was at a bar and how he just he watched them, try to shoot the rednecks, try to shoot the zombies, and he just kept coming towards them and just kept coming at them. It's when he's like trying to start the fire and he's talking to Barbara. Such a great scene, but that always reminded me of that. I'm like, damn, where's Ben when you need him? You know what I mean? But even that, yeah, that was a great scene. Let's see. There are a few left. Most of that team are at Platinum Games, I think. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. There's only a few left, but they definitely have changed a lot. Kamiya directed RE2, and he's not with Capcom anymore. He's involved with Bayonetta. Okay, so that's where he is. What's up, Dave, fellow YouTube member? And it's my brother right there in the chat. Dead Space first playthrough was scary as fuck. And he says the OG Fear game was pretty scary too back in the day. Yeah, that was a pretty good game. It was a strange game, Fear. I only ever really played the first one, but yeah, that was just a great thing for that time period for sure. And Joshua says, "Am I a fan of Silent Hill?" Yeah, I mean, I've only ever beaten 1 and 2, which was showcased here on the channel. I did them as blind playthroughs and went through it. I really want to go back and play 3, so maybe I'll be able to do that, when there's some downtime. And I recently started a Dead Space playthrough that the members and Patreon people voted on. Silent Hill almost won that poll, but Dead Space did win by a close call. So I am going to continue that probably when I get back from my trip and stuff like that. So yes, that will be happening. I haven't forgotten about it. I did 2 parts. It's the second time I played Dead Space on the channel. The last time was almost 10 years ago, so it'll be cool to get back and to play that before the remake, and to stream, something else. Silent Hill Homecoming was okay, but the horror just didn't hold up as it did in the first 3. I would like to see, for Kular, he's asking would they do a RE1 through 3 in HD. I think at this point, I don't know if they will, just because they got these services on it and they're making adjustments with those graphics in there, and that might be all they do. but I think it should still be released for everyone, not just on PlayStation. You know what I mean? So people can still play it. I don't know. Dr. Evil loves Silent Hill. Uninstalling PT from my PS4 can never get it back. No, you can't. I had it on my original PS4, but, you know, when I traded that shit in, I just let that shit go, man, you know, because you can get it on PC. You can get it to run. It works fine. And, you know, I just, like, that PS4 was overheating. It was giving me problems, and I was like, you know what? It is what it is. You know, I just needed to get rid of those old machines. I don't even want them anymore. You know, PS4, Xbox One, like, I wanted to move on. So they're not in my house anymore. They're gone. And all traded for money. Christine says, yeah, Dead Space, the hospital wing. Yeah, that's fucking killer. Fucking scary. Inferno mode Nemesis is insane. RE3 Remake is almost on a totally different game on that difficulty. It is. That's really like the real mode for that game is Inferno. Condemned was pretty good. It was an underrated game and it has very good atmosphere. Yes, Condemned was the other one that I liked that was, you know, pretty damn good. Well, I never got into the second one, but yes, I'm excited for Callisto Protocol. How long will it take for them to reboot Ari for the big screen? I don't know. You know, if they decide to make a damn sequel, then it's going to prolong it even more. Hopefully they just put more space and time between it, you know. Dylan says, I heard the enemy designers for Dead Space had to look at pictures of dead people to come up with monsters. Real gnarly stuff. Yeah, I mean, you got to make it look realistic, right? And that's part of that body horror aspect. You have to make it look pretty fucking real. Are you excited for the collector edition of RE4 Remake? Yes, I hope it gets announced. It could get announced at Tokyo Game Show. Maybe. Fingers are crossed, I hope. Let's see. God, how I wish Silent Hill could come back somehow. Why Konami, says Stan. I love to see original creators come back and make new horror games like Silent Hill. Yeah, I know, man. It's just like, you know, there's always creative stuff. There's always stuff on the inside. I was going to say on the outside, but mostly on the inside and outside sometimes. But that just, you know, there's just falling outs and there's, you know, different people that, you know, call the shots. It's crazy. Yeah, no, Fatty. The RE3 remake stuff is not the Nemesis edition. That's been dead and in the water. That's why, again, I never reported on it on the channel, and I'm happy I didn't give into that notion of the rumor and stuff. Prey, I do have Prey. Yes, it is a great game. In fact, I have to get one more achievement in that game, and I just have to beat it on hard mode. So I might do that because I do have it. I think it was like $5 digital on the Microsoft Store. So I got that. And yeah.
Most of these medicines are from Umbrella.
Here. They already rebooted the movies, but even the reboot I didn't like. Yeah, I know, right? A lot of people are like that, Lore. It ain't happening, Bryant. You're right. Imagine the creators of MK11 had to look at research when designing the fatalities. Yeah, I know, right? Making them look all realistic and shit. Matthew Webster with the $5 super chat says, are you looking forward to the new Jeepers Creepers Reborn movie? To be honest, no. Jeepers Creepers 1 is just an okay movie, but, 2 was really bad, 3 was really bad. They just kept getting worse, so it's really hard for me to, look forward to these sequels. I don't care who's attached. I know they got all that crap, squared away. But, dude, I don't know. I'm just not, a mark for Jeepers Creepers. I don't, It's just like, yo, are you excited for the new Texas Chainsaw Netflix film? And I'm like, the best one is the original. And when they keep running the shit into the ground is when it just gets repetitive and kind of annoying. Now, I know sometimes, that can sound contradictory because you could say the same thing for Halloween, but I still go see them, and Scream, but I still go see them. But it is about almost like the investment because you've been around for so long in the franchise and you're watching. It's the same thing with Resident Evil. You've been invested in all these games, and obviously I have the channel and I'm doing content for what I'm doing, so it makes sense too. But even outside of that, you're invested, so it's like you're gonna check it out. The Shadow of Rose DLC, I don't think will be. I think will be decent. Excuse me. Decent in length. I don't think it'll be crazy long, but Yeah, the creature is pretty cool. Like that concept of it always waking up, you can't really kill it. Like that whole thing is, that's cool. There's obviously a lot of stuff that I, thought was pretty cool in the first one. I remember watching that on DVD back in the day. It was on VHS too, but I remember the cover with the eye and the stitches. It was just. I remember I finally watched it, and I remember seeing the end, and my dad was just like laughing, at the head where he's like, he has like his eyes out and shit like that. So yeah, there's some funny moments, like stuff like that I remember of the first one. I remember because I saw the first time I saw it, my parents were watching it on TV, and I was watching wrestling, and I went into the room and I saw the scene with the old lady and the shotgun, and she's like, "Get off my, whatever," and he like walks in and you see his face. That was kind of creepy. Like I remember I was like, oh shit, let me go in the other room and not watch this movie. And then I eventually rented it and watch it, because like you do when you're curious, you want to see what's going on. Yeah, that was the peak for sure, the first film, and that was it. I have zero interest in Rose in any of the Winter family, says Dr. Evil. I really hope they get left behind after the DLC. That's what a lot of people want to kind of get out of there. Favorite wrestler? I mean, I have to go with Stone Cold. You know what I mean? But I love Undertaker. I love Kane. Like when I was a kid, I would say, Kane, Undertaker, Stone Cold, The Rock, like that era. But I would say, yeah, Stone Cold is just awesome. Like as you get older, you kind of change who you like and stuff like that. Like, but I'm not into it like I used to be. But, I was at least in it towards the tail end of the Attitude, right when it turned to WWE as well. Played all the games, because my brother was into it. So, Danger Dylan says, no more Lady D. I'm tired. Yeah, Jeepers Creepers 2. Stan likes Jeepers Creepers 2. Do you think Capcom will bring back Lady D in the future? I don't think so, Joshua. I think they're done. Dylan's tired of her. What was good? The last short movie you did. Oh, thanks, man. It was a doozy, but this one's even better. This one that I got showing up, which is a Halloween, Michael Myers Halloween, because I say Halloween, people are like, what? What's Halloween? Michael Myers Halloween fan film. So it's like just, harmless fan short film, not making any money off of it. I got to put the disclaimer in the beginning and, all that shit. So, Sofa King says favorite console, PS1, my man. PS1 for sure. Yeah, that's going to be getting done. I think you guys are really going to dig it. What, Dr. Evil? I don't even know what you're saying. Furniture she can toss to update on Mercs mode? Are you talking about like her abilities? Matt Cave says, which RE game do you feel had the best atmosphere and environment? I would say 2 and 3, because they're kind of like the destruction of Raccoon City. I feel like you got to put them together because they're very similar vibed and, kind of go together like this. So, oh, yes, I got you, Sweet Shrimp. I got you. I know exactly. Yeah. Yep. I think we all feel the same way about that, brother. That was very unfortunate. She can toss it. She can toss chairs. Okay. Yeah, I don't fucking know. Like, can you buy the chairs in the Duke's... I see what you're saying. Can you buy that? I don't know. I would think the DLC may be the end of this, little chapter of characters and story. Thoughts on the new Halloween films? I liked Halloween 2018, Stan. I liked Kills, but didn't like it as much. It did have a lot of flaws. This new trailer looked pretty decent for this one. It got me a little excited. I'm not trying to see anything beyond this trailer because it's just going to go right into spoiler territory. And, October is right around the corner. And you know me, I'm going to be there day one. So, or the day before because Cinemark likes to put them out on Thursdays. Did I ever play Jericho? Yeah, I actually did play that. Shout out to Brandon. I had played his copy a little bit. I never beat it though. Back in the 360 days. I don't know where that came from, Dr. Evil. We'll see. Anything you hope or expect to see in RE4 Remake? I hope that the horror is tuned up. I hope the island is definitely adjusted for more horror and less action. I hope Krauser's in there. I hope Ada's in there. I hope Wesker's in there. So I expect all that to be somewhere wrapped in there, and hopefully it's not too short and there's a decent amount of content. KMMA with the 199 super sticker. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much for supporting. You guys have been awesome with the donations this stream, and we're just hanging out chatting, so I appreciate that. If Rose DLC is going to be the next canon story, it worries me that the characters are being written out because they're too old. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I'd rather have them do this DLC now so 9 can hopefully bring us back to those characters. Even if they're older, that just gives it an opportunity to do that, Alex loves the Rob Zombie Halloween films. I like the first one. The second one is kind of when it went off the rails. RE4 Remake will most likely suck. Joshua doesn't give a fuck. He says, I don't even care. It's going to suck. To each their own. It's all good. I'll like to see Leon's Mafia outfit, Son Goku. That'd be cool. Do you think S.D. Perry novelizations of the first 3 games would adapt well in the new live-action RE film adaptations? Yeah. If they adapted those stories into live action, why not? Wesker will be in RE4 Remake, says Bryant. Well, I hope so. Cam says, I hope we get another RE CGI movie soon and a CGI RE4 film. That would be cool, but I guess we don't need it since we're getting an RE4 Remake. Yeah, that's the thing. They're definitely not going to do a 4 CGI. They'll probably just do Infinite Darkness and continue that. You know what I mean? I think that would be, now they haven't said that they are. I hope they are, because obviously, are we going to get another CG movie in that case if the Infinite Darkness doesn't continue? Who's to say on that one? But Lady does toss the desk. Okay. After 9, I don't know. Could be another remake. Reboot could always happen. Just got Winter's Expansion. Can't wait to play it. Hell yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, I gotta take the leaks with a grain of salt. I did know that about Pinhead, but I never actually read the novel, Stan. Matthew Webster says, we all know Blue Umbrella has an age reversal cream they're working on that will get our characters back in the prime. I know, right? We shall see, Son Goku. We shall see. RE4 Remake won't suck due to being more horror than action. Hopefully, it mostly will be 3.5 beta. Well, that's, we just kind of want more of the horror stuff, for sure. I haven't been disappointed in the CGI films. That's why I brought it up. Yeah, it's kind of, it's just, I don't know, the CGI films, whether you like one over the other, I think it's one of those things where, again, it's nice to have something that is, film related, whether it's CGI, that is still in the canon and still is just, it's like, all right, you can watch it and it just connects to it, even if it, just kind of like connects in a really loose way, or, you could really not have to watch it to have any kind of like, it's just another moment that our characters are going through that you're seeing, you know what I mean? But cut content is what Marvin is worried about here. He says R4 is his favorite and everything in the game is a masterpiece. Yeah, I know people are, very scared and just hoping that the stuff doesn't get touched. But I don't know, Son Goku. I think Nick Apostolides does a great job as Leon. I think he won't have a problem sounding older. He is an older gentleman too, so it's not like he's some, teeny bopper dude, you know what I mean? So hopefully, that performance kind of comes out a little bit more. Were you a fan of RE5? If so, did you know a heat system was in it? Chris stay in the sun was too long and he would need to find shade to recover, and zombies were the original enemies. Yes, I do remember that. And I remember the description on the Xbox 360 thing says, in the description, it says stay out of the heat, as the heat affects, your conditions and blah, blah, blah. But then they never changed that bio. To this day, they kept that. They never updated it. It was back when they had the old 5. And I liked RE5. It didn't have a perfect story or anything, but it didn't really matter. It was just a fun co-op game. It was probably the most time I put onto a game that gen on 360 and PS3, like that generation. And between that and Gears 1, man, I don't know what I put more time into, So yeah, I was a fan of RE5, still like to play it. Masari says, favorite Ari save room theme? Probably RE1, the original. But I love RE2, love RE3, love Code Veronica. So many great save room themes. X says he likes the direction that the remake of 4 has been taking. 4 felt a little goofy back then, and the tone feels goofy now. Yes and no. I don't think the whole thing seemed goofy, but there were some moments in it where you're like, okay, this can obviously be adjusted a little bit. But I think mostly for me, it was more of just like the lack of horror in there. But again, I still love RE4. Still think it's pretty much a perfect game. RE6 definitely is lower on the totem pole, Son Goku, for sure. RE9 with Barry, Rebecca, Jill, Chris, Claire, and Leon, says Shy Boy. Josh says, are they using the same face model for Leon? Yes. Yeah, they definitely are. And same voice actor. Stan's really excited for Remake because he wasn't a fan of the original RE4. But he knows that people love it, but that's where the downfall began. Yeah, obviously that's when they started to change stuff with the story. They started to change things. So hopefully this just is a really solid, remake. And it's something that is, just suits all fans. Christine loves the CGI films. They're the best. Yeah, they're always fun. Lord Heisenberg says there's a 0 chance Capcom will make both sides happy. Well, here's the thing, man. You're never going to make anyone happy. I'm never going to make everyone happy on here on my channel, voicing my opinion like I do, telling how I feel with no holding back or anything like that, right? You're never going to make anyone happy when you make a movie. You're never going to make everyone happy when you make a game. There's always, you're trying to crowd please all the time, and sometimes you're trying to make this change, make that change as a game developer, as a if you're trying to do all this stuff, you don't want to get in your own head about it, but at the same time, you're remaking a masterpiece, right? Like it is a it's very important that they do this right. So there is a lot of pressure, and that's why I don't think you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's a double-edged sword. There's going to be criticism from fans. There's always something to complain about. So whether we agree with it or not, or we understand it, or but I'm looking forward to it. I think it will be fine, but we'll see. Word says, in terms of mainline games, RE6 is low tier, but RE0 is personally my least favorite. That's definitely one of my least favorites, mostly because of the mechanics in RE0. Yeah, definitely. RE6 is a fantastic third-person shooter, horrible RE game. Yeah, I mean, it definitely... I think there's even problems on the third-person side of it as a shooter. But, and yes, I agree that, the Simmons and all that shit was just dumb. And his design was dumb. It was a bloated game. There were some cutscenes that were pretty cool. The graphics were amazing. Some of the gameplay in 6 was pretty good. But it fell apart as it kept going. And, it's just a real cluster mess, like Marvin Studios said. Color says he actually liked Zero. It was pretty fun. He was thinking what items I don't need to drop. Well, I got to go back and get better at that. You know what I mean? Lord Heisenberg likes more horror and more serious, higher stakes, better storytelling, more exploration, puzzles, backtracking, and that comes from someone who has RE4 in his top 5 games of all time. I hear you, brother. I hear you. Brian has been a fan of the series since '97 and never complained about any RE title. Hey, man, that's all good. I mean, listen, you guys are very respectful, and you're a community that I'm very grateful for. So I'm happy that I don't have, people filled with just like, negative Nancy's. Usually it's constructed, it's criticism that, makes sense. And, I think it kind of, yeah, you guys know what you like and know what you don't like. Or some of you guys like all the stuff and you're just like, hey, I'm just chilling. But I like the discussion. I like to see what you guys like up against, the remakes, up against the old stuff. Dr. Evil says, I've got issues with 4. Always have since the first reveal of the enemies. It's a great game. It's fun to play, but never feels like RE to me. The remake direction looks good. More horror, hopefully. Yeah, I mean, that was my problem with Village, too. I just felt like the enemies just didn't really lend RE, The Brawny says, would you want the merchant to be an unlockable character for mercenaries? The catch is you can create your own loadout. That would be interesting to see the merchant just like tear shit up in the village. That'd be funny. That'd actually be fucking hilarious. I don't think it would happen, but I'd be down. Black Knight says, hi, how are you, Ant? I'm good. You think RE4 Remake will also be on old gen, PS4? PS5 is still really expensive where I live. I don't think it will be on PS4. I think we're getting to a point where, unfortunately, a lot of this stuff is just going to be coming out on these newer consoles. And, yeah, so I just don't see it hitting the older consoles. Good old Dinosaur Simmons. What were they thinking? Exactly. I actually love Simmons as a boss, but he reminded me of William Birkin on multiple forums, says Matthew Webster. Well, to each their own on that. We can agree to disagree on that one. Stan loves RE0, but his issue was it was short and it definitely needed at least 2 or 3 item boxes. But I also like how you can drop items and pick them up. Yeah, I mean, it's a mechanic that I'm still trying. There was years where I didn't really like a lot of the stuff in Code Veronica, and then I came back around on Code Veronica and really ended up liking it. 0, I'm not at that point yet, but we'll see. Let's see. I'd rather have a remake with, this is what Lord Heisenberg says, with changes, new ideas, and yes, taking risks with it. Play with our expectations, but deliver the assurance or the essence of RE4. I want a new game, not what The Last of Us Part 1 is doing. Yeah, no, they're it's safe to say they're going to remake this shit from the ground up. Even if they keep it similar in certain things, Some Sweet Trim says Code Veronica X was my least favorite to play through in the whole series. It's just a chore, and it takes so long to get the ball rolling, but might just be a get good deal for me. That's what it was for me, man. I used a lot of my shitty skill level to, judge the game, but then, when you play through it, do a couple Let's Plays and streams of it, I still suck at it, but trying to get better. Word says, I just didn't like the Leech Man, the opera singing guy, the fact that Rebecca fights an entire tyrant but then has no recollection of the tyrant in the first one. The story's all over the place. I think that's the biggest thing about it, and the item dropping can be annoying, and, you just have to get used to it. Yeah, that's true, Word. All those are true. You really do have to just play it over and over again like any other Resident Evil and just get better at it, and I'm not there. That's why I'm not going to do a dice lock on Code Veronica yet. That's why I'm not going to do zero. It's like, Let me get better at them before I put myself in the fucking hell that is a dice lock. Yeah, X says any room can be a storage room, and some of the mechanics were tedious though. Yeah, definitely. What's up, Mr. Patriot? All right, guys, I will give you 5 more minutes to ask whatever questions you have, and then I got to get going here. I got to get stuff ready for tonight. I have to do my last-minute packing for a convention, which is always fucking killer. But, you know, got a pile of laundry sitting over there I got to put away. Oh, it's fun. Open world Raccoon City where you can play as main characters, fight iconic BOWs, and try and escape. Yeah, Marvin, we're kind of bringing that up earlier. Like, that would be such a great idea, and they have so many assets, and it's just so much at their disposal that they can make something really cool, you know. Lord Heisenberg says, me as a Bloodborne fan, I adore Gothic horror, and I am biased towards RE8's setting, enemies, and location, but I respect criticism just when people start with, you're not a true RE fan, BS. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, that's the whole gatekeeping thing is just like ridiculous to me. That's why I've never done it here. I've never, you know, you like what you like. And if I can get new people in from any other game or movie, cool. Doesn't really matter, you know, because hopefully that will lead you down the rabbit hole and you can play some other stuff. You can play the older stuff. So yeah, I never, definitely never did that and would never want to do that. Will you be playing Death by Daylight when the second Resident Evil chapter drops next month? Or this month? I think it drops this month. This month or next month. When it does drop, though, I am considering doing a live stream on all the Resident Evil stuff, yes. A lot of people have been asking about it, and I've never played Death by Daylight, so I might as well start with the Resident Evil stuff. Or it says Billy is super random. He says, I wish RE0 was Rebecca and or just Enrico just going to the mansion leading up to the... Yeah, Billy was kind of random, and they never used him again, and he's just kind of like a whatever character. Like, he's okay. I don't hate him, but I agree. Like, seeing her with someone else would have been cool. But remember, I asked if you would do an Uncharted 4 playthrough. I do remember when you asked that. I don't know if that's ever going to happen on this channel, obviously. I know it won't happen on this channel. I know back when 2-player was the thing for 2 seconds, we were considering doing the Uncharted stuff. Maybe one day on Inocula Productions, you know, if I feel like doing some gaming stuff over there. It's pretty much whatever I want to do over there, so it's not so streamlined. So, but if I did that, I'd have to play all the other ones. So, Stevie Mac, Last Night in Soho is great. It's a great movie.
I just joined the S.T.A.R.S Bravo team last month.
Okay, sorry about that. Let's see here. I started with RE1 as a kid. I live and breathe the franchise, says Lord Heisenberg. Heard rumors that 9 will have enemies similar to the Thing. That'd be interesting. Sweet Trim says the Outbreak series had 3 best OSTs in all the games. It does have a good soundtrack. Pedro says, how can Capcom make an RE game that will make everyone happy, especially old school fans? It's hard, man. It's near impossible. Near impossible. But yes, voicing my dislikes of RE0. If you love it, who am I to say a damn thing about your likings? You like what you like. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if it brings you to it brings you to the plate, it's all good. Matthew, thank you for the other $5 super chat. Says, would you rather see our main characters retire and new characters take over, or have a reboot bringing back our main characters to square once again? That's a good question. I would say, man, to be honest with you, if they are going to bring them back, and I know they're getting older, I would say at least just bring them back. If you're going to bring them back all in one game, in all one situation where it's pretty epic, and at least wrap it up in a nice way. And sure, you know, have new characters, but just you can make them, just make sure you don't forget about the old ones. You know, don't move ahead without that. My favorite RE4 handgun is Red 9. Coolar, for sure. Favorite secondary big weapon, I would say, would be the riot gun. That's one of my favorites. I also love the, the Tommy gun is a no-brainer, but I love the TMP, the bolt action rifle. There's so many great stuff in there. But yeah, I mean, if they did a reboot, Matt Webster, I mean, I think obviously, that would just be the slate's clean, but we'll see. Only if you have time. Would be fun to watch, I think. Yeah, Christine, I appreciate that. Yeah, maybe one day if I kind of work that stuff out. The Quarry soundtrack's really good too, she said. I've saved it on here. Yeah, I got to check out. I'm going to check that out when the price drops. It's on PC as well, so I can probably check it out. So that's something I could stream on the channel. But I want to do Callisto Protocol when that comes out, so we'll see. Which classic character would you like to see return as playable character? For me, it's Jill. I would say Jill, man. Jill and Chris. Scott says, hey, stranger question. On Code Veronica HD version, is it possible to change the control settings? I tried getting back into it, and it's jacked up from having trad controls playing on Xbox One S. I don't think you can really change the control mapping to what it like individually. I think it's just what they give you, but I know it's a little different, right? It's been a while since I played that, Scott Wiley, but I know it is a little different. Oh shit, Scott Belcher gifted.
My life is shit.
Oh shit, OHB, you just gifted a membership. Damn, man, thank you. That's the first time someone's done that. Well, thank you, Scott, for gifting OHB. OHB, thank you for being a YouTube member. It was just gifted to you. That is a new feature where you can gift people members, and Scott just was the first one ever to do it on the channel. What games are you looking forward to besides 4 Remake? I would say Saints Row. Saints Row comes out in a week, so that will be something I'm also kind of looking forward to. That's like, it's not RE related, but it's something else. It's not next year, but who knows the infinite herb sheet and Code Veronica? Yeah, that does work. So. All right. Sorry about that. I had a little distraction there. Let's see here. You have a favorite game series outside of RE? Metal Gear. Metal Gear is one of my favorites. I love Metal Gear. Obviously the older ones. Probably up to 4, I would say. I love Gears of War. I do love the Halo series. The Silent Hill series I love. The Siphon Filter series I love. Man, so many. It's just so many. Mass Effect I really liked. Obviously Dead Space, you know what I mean? But yeah, sorry about the no audio. I had to talk to someone, so I muted my mic. Would you like to see Umbrella Chronicles and Darkside redone in the remake? No, in a remake style, I don't know, an on-rails spin-off thing, you know what I mean? Gary Garcia says, what's up, Anthony? Favorite Killswitch Engage song? God, that's a loaded question. Favorite Killswitch Engage song, I would say, is Reject Yourself. I think Reject Yourself is an underrated song, but that's one of my favorites. Even A Bid Farewell and End of Heartache. Oh my God, there's so many great songs on that. Declaration. Hope is like so many good Killswitch Engage songs. Oh my God, I love the Howard Jones era. I love Jesse Leach too. What's up, Blazing Wrath? Wanted to say what's up to you. Appreciate you showing the support. Where can I see your films? I will post the link right here, Bulls. Here's my film channel. Go subscribe. Let's see here. I love Light the Torch. It is a really solid band. Exit Theater says, Reject Yourself is probably my favorite song when Daylight Dies. You have a good taste. But hey, man, that was, I remember when that came out, and I had, obviously I have it on CD and vinyl now, but back then it was all about LimeWire, and had the songs on there. And that was like how I found out about them, through the Apocalypse end credits, End of Heartache, and then they were on the soundtrack. So This Is Absolution, so good. Still Beats Your Name. All that stuff's really good. Would you ever be able to do a watch party on one of the CGI films? Yeah, that would probably be a commentary I can definitely do. A live, like something that would be like a watch party without doing anything on the copyright side of things. It would probably be like a Discord, Patreon, YouTube member hangout thing, where, because then you can actually get into a Discord room and I can stream it from my end and you guys can watch it and we can talk, while it's hanging out. The Holy Diver cover, yeah, it's so good. But yeah, so that's definitely how we could do that. You think Love Can Bloom on the Battlefield? MGS is great. Yeah, that was a fun time to play through the Metal Gear Solid games for sure. Let's see. Kolar says, fun question. Who would you take? Claire, Jill, Ada, Rebecca, Hunnigan, or Sheva? Gotta go with Jilly. Come on. Times of Grace is also freaking great. Yo, Time to Grace is amazing. That first album's amazing. Even the second album they just put out, so good. Like, super good. So yeah, just I'm in it. I'm in it with Killswitch. I love all that stuff. I got the As Daylight Dies on vinyl, the red, and then I got the End of Heartache on vinyl. I don't know if I actually got the End of Heartache on vinyl. I don't even know what I have anymore. I gotta look. I have to check. I have to get it on vinyl if it probably already came out on vinyl, because now I'm looking it up, but I might have missed it when it came out, because I know they reissued it. Yeah, vinyl goes for $100, unless it's the OG vinyl, but oh yeah, that's still $55. Yeah, it's the repressing. I might have this though. Yeah, I already have this. I'm like looking at this. I'm like, I have this. But yeah, the watch party could happen because I want to do more watch party interactive stuff for Patreon and supporters and stuff like that. So it's definitely something that can happen. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this stream. There won't be any live stream next week. There will be a couple videos dropping just to keep you guys, to whet your appetite a bit for when I come back. What would you want in a direct Ari movie if it was going to be an adaptation of the first game? Or who would you want to direct it? Oh, man. I don't know, man. Give it to Ty West. Give it to someone. We'll see. No, I don't know. I really don't know. We're gonna see Killswitch in October. Damn, Gary. Yeah, I was able to meet them at a meet and greet at Starland Ballroom, which was killer. So maybe one of these days I'll go check them out again. See them live. I've seen them live like 4 times. It's awesome. I've watched the show Invincible. Yeah. I haven't seen the whole thing, but I've watched a couple episodes, so pretty good. I like it though. But yes, guys, so that is going to be it for this little Hangout stream. Thank you for all your donations and questions and membership gifts and all that stuff. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Stay tuned for more LTRE content. When I get back, the summer of RE will continue all the way into the autumn of RE, where I'll just probably make it more of like a road to the Village DLC. And I'll continue trying to complete the games, get the platinums. There is going to be some RE4 remake stuff potentially at Tokyo Game Show next month. So obviously I'm just going to do the best in the next month to keep you guys occupied. Plenty of stuff to play. Plenty of playthroughs to continue. I still got mercs I have to do to get the platinum, so that will all be continued soon. Thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you later.